word that nothing out of the ordinary is going to happen, as we need to evolve the story a little bit. I apologize about my delay in joining everybody tonight. Also, I'm going to stop and say, can everybody hear me? Yes?
What?
No, I'm sorry. I can't hear a word you're saying.
There.
It's Yada's backstory all over again. When I'm like,
When
epic.
Tom's going to join.
Yeah, it's like epicness. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, Tom, are you still talking? And I'm like, God damn it, that was like 10 minutes of pure gold. Anyways.
It's been after 15 minutes, so I guess we can leave with, getting an extra level since Tom's not showing up.
It's the college professor way, right?
We'll
just the
keep
college
this
professor way.
Going all night while listening.
You lost me at high.
I apologize, everybody. I'm sorry. There was some last minute drama, and fortunately,
we're
I think
super mad at you.
Yeah, well, it's you know what? I think it sets the right standard. So there's a couple things I think we should cast back to for everybody who was not aware of how the last sort of chapter, or I guess like major story arc, came to a close, and that was the team, after trying to thwart and battle a dragon made of living dark crystal, destroyed it, but not before it rang true and killed another party member. Chris, I believe you currently have the most dead characters. So do you want to recap it all, or do you want me to take it away?
I'm dead. I can't recap anything.
Well, you are and you aren't, because we did introduce a new character right at the end.
You're the DM. I'll let you take it.
So fair enough.
The new character does is, I killed a dragon. That was super easy.
So,
well, you couldn't do it.
I'm not saying anything. I mean,
the fact that he only had 2 hit points left doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, irrelevant. I joined the battle. The dragon died. Checkmate. Scoreboard.
I'm the champion. So, the heroes of the North, as you had started to be called, I think at one point you came up with something even more ridiculous for a team name, but maybe we didn't use it as much as it should have been. Probably because some party members kept dying and names kept changing. But you battled the dragon all the way from Dugan's Hole, which was destroyed. Not that anybody was that upset about that, but Dugan's Hole was destroyed. But you thwarted it in Goodmead, preventing, 10 Town's ability to have a good drink from being destroyed. You chased it all the way up along the way using several magics, including one that brought you to the elemental plane of air, where only through some really good dice rolls were you able to grab each other's hands and not just get thrown off into an eternity of falling. And you arrived at East Haven. While in East Haven, problems happened. Other parties showed up. Another member of the Arcane Brotherhood showed up and was literally healing the dragon as you emerged from the elemental plane of air. Fortunately, you were able to thwart those plans, destroy the dragon, with the emergence of a new party member who shot some sort of alchemical gout of fire into the air, destroying the dragon as it crashed down through so many feet of ice that had been formed over the lake next to East Haven. The dragon's body smoldering, smoke finally subsiding, the ice starting to congeal over the broken water top again. Victory. We break. Everybody increases to level 7. Everybody is granted a boon of 500 gold pieces, and everybody is given a chance to pick 3 uncommon magical items that over the course of the next several weeks, the townsfolk may or may not have brought to you in recognition of what you did to save them from the threat of this Charlatan dragon. Some of you have rolled for those items. Some of you haven't. If you haven't, you don't get them now. I'm kidding. Everyone will have a chance to do that. Basically, what we did was, Chris, I think you were probably the most recent one. It was either Chris or it was Mike. I'm not sure, but basically, I think I gave you like a 30% chance for each, where you call the 30 numbers on a like 1 to 30, 30 to 60, etc. on a 100 percentile die, and you roll it. And if you roll and get in that frame, you get the item. If you don't, you've had 3 chances, and best of luck, but it didn't work out. That's where you guys are at. I think that's correct. That's what I gave to you, correct, as an option for this.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, cool. And so basically this plays upon the idea that the people of 10 Towns are very, very happy with what you've done. But remember that this is kind of a low-level magic item campaign, and I'm doing this as a way to maybe get you some stuff that you would have otherwise not been able to find. Some other things to talk about really quickly is, so clearly a new member of the Heroes of the North has emerged. What you do with that, or how you accept him or it or they, Chris, I don't know how you identify with this character, so up to you. That's something to maybe go over. And then lastly, before we get into dice rolls or figuring out or whatever, the last thing that we parted before, real life moves and everything. And Dolan, I hope that everything has gone well. I hope that like life has reached a point of like equivalence for you at the moment. And I'm super happy that you're back. Vaylin had said, are you interested in a plan to finally end the Frostmaiden's rhyme? And that was how we left the last time. So, a couple things to go over. 1, everybody's level 7. I know we talked about that briefly, but it's been so long that if anybody wants to touch base about anything, please do. 2, Kevin, you basically... what's the good word? You basically like corporate took over the possession of the magically enchanted plate mail that had been created for somebody that wasn't you.
Hrothgar's loss was definitely lessened when I found out all that thing had.
Oh yeah,
shit.
It was just like, oh, okay. I mean, still sad, but like, I mean, he was a good, valuable partner. We had a great setup going on. I mean, this armor is pretty good, fucking nice though.
So
shit.
I think
Why are
that
you so mad, Fizzgig?
what I would like Ziada to do then is to roll a investigation check and a perception check, and then tell me what you get.
Investigation. Huh, I didn't roll on to that. Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, shit. The thing that sucks is it has a nice little triangle on this one, and it has the 6 underlined, and the underline looked like a 1. I'm like, 16, dope. No.
All right.
Wait,
cool.
That one?
And
9. All right. Killing it already.
All right. So the investigation didn't really yield anything, and maybe we'll get to that at another point. But the perception, maybe that when you were changing out your old armor into the new armor, maybe when you guys had wearily made it back to what was it, Scramsax's Northlook or Overlook? I think it's the Northlook in Bryn Shander, to sort of reclaim your rooms and just find a place to wearily fall asleep after all of what you've been through. A piece of hide, like almost like parchment, but clearly like thinned hide that somebody would draw or write on, had fallen out of either your backpack or maybe like a crease in your armor. And you look down, and it is a picture of a saber-toothed tiger and a bear, and they seem to be just like they seem to be just smiling at each other.
All right. Saber-toothed tiger. Now, is that... No, the bears... Okay. All right, cool. Very good. I think
All right.
I understand.
All right, if you want to try to make a check of some sort, I'll let you make a check. But otherwise, you find that, and that was something that I had notes about that I never revealed prior to our break because I thought it would just come out naturally. So I want to get it done now.
So where was it that I found that? Like where was I?
You were alone. Like you were like, maybe getting ready for bed. Maybe you were like, I got this new plate armor. I want to put it on. Whatever it was, you were kind of like, you stepped off to the side and you like, classic like note flutters out of like the crease in like the backpack or like the armor fold or whatever. And that's where you find them.
Okay. Interesting. All right, cool.
All right. So that being said, does anybody want to talk about level 7 at all? Is there anything you're excited about? Maybe you didn't mention before, maybe something you remembered, or are we all good and we just want to keep this ball rolling?
I can't remember what I added.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I have to remember. All right,
so that's cool.
At 7th level, I emanate a menacing aura while I'm not incapacitated. The aura extends 10 feet in every direction. If a creature is frightened, the speed is reduced to 0 in the aura. So if I get things frightened of me, then they can't move and they take psychic damage equal to half my paladin level if it starts its turn there, and then it can't move out.
Wow. Cool. And so so two things about that. One, you have to roll a check first, or is it a save versus?
That is always there. It's the fear stuff. So if I fear something, and then that's where like the stuff gets like the saves and all that.
Okay. All right. And then the other question is you said it can't move out, but it can still continue to come at you, or no?
So no, because it has a, if it's fearful, let me get it real quick. If it's frightened of me, then its movement speed goes to 0.
Okay. But like, could it like
10 feet?
No, I'm just saying that like if you're standing like in the epicenter of this, and the creature's like comes in to get you, and it's suddenly feared of you, but directly next to it is another like person it wants to attack. Could it attack the other person? Because fear just says you move away or don't attack.
If it's within range of that person, yeah, it doesn't like completely freeze them. They're just, their speed goes to 0. So
okay, all right, so cool.
Like
I mean, like
try and run in, and then they get frozen still, and it's just like, all right, fuck, I won't. No, that's fine.
So gross. I don't like that at all. But okay, we'll deal with that as it happens. Anybody else? Super cool things you want to share about level 7U? I mean, Fizzgig, I know we don't know anything about you apart from that you can shoot a gout of flame in the sky, but like, so you don't have to get into it.
Yeah, I made changes to the character too. Remember?
No, I know. Just let's just pretend you can still shoot flames of gout in the air. Yeah, flames of gout. You give alcoholism to characters. That's what you do.
The character, the Charlatan dragon was just carrying that big stupid green bottle that they had in the commercials years ago.
Just drink it for years. Goddamn dragon. Drink it for years. Can't walk on my feet. They hurt. Okay. Dolan or TJ, anything you want to share about level 7, you guys?
Nothing really cool happened to my character leveling up to 7. There was no real changes.
Okay. All right. TJ?
I got uncanny dodge.
Oh,
to use
gross.
my reaction to reduce the damage to half.
Oh, well, half or 0, right? On a success, it's 0 now.
I think you're thinking of evasion.
Oh, that's that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
it's like uncanny dodge, then it goes to evasion. That's right.
Yeah, there's 48 different rogue abilities that all sound like getting out of it.
The same.
They're
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean,
slip away, evade, dip, dive, dodge, duck, dive, dodge.
Don't get hit. Again. Yeah, dip, dive, dodge. Don't get hit. All right, that's it. Yeah.
Etc.
And Novakri, is there anything that you want? Oh, wait, before I forget to say, Loki, you You have a familiar now that's an owl, correct?
Yes.
All right. So remind me of that. So as we're putting like creatures and stuff and things on maps, I don't forget to include that. So you have that. And then Novakri, anything interesting that you want to include apart from the fact that, you didn't die in a dragon fight as some of our other characters did.
Shut up.
Well, I kind of cheated. I was in a mental hospital at that time.
Excuses. I kid. But is there anything that you want to divulge about a level 7 Novakri? And if I remember correctly, during the dragon battle, Novakri may have fired her squeeze rifle or laser rifle a few times. So we want to make sure that we've updated that if we have memory of it. If we don't, we'll roll a d4 and that's how many charges you've expended. We'll just do that if we don't have it recorded.
You just want to get rid of the laser rifle.
No, I just don't like the laser rifle at all. That's all. But Kevin, did you by any chance mark down or keep a record of what Novakri did on the episodes that she wasn't here with firing that thing?
I never fired that.
Oh, in that case, then
it
let's
was,
not.
It was like psychic damage, and we already knew that thing was like taking
radiant. It was radiant damage, but it was also more damage than like most of the other things you were throwing at it. And I thought there was like once or twice that you fired at it, but if not, then not.
I always went with the fireball. I'm pretty sure, or something like that. I always went simple with it.
Okay, all right. Well, in that case, let's get down to the real juicy bits, and that is who wants to try to roll and get an uncommon item. I know that Novakri's taking care of this. I know that Fizzgig is taking care of this. At least 3 characters. Who wants to go first?
All right, let me get my.
I was going to say, if nobody steps up, I'm just going to call on somebody.
Which item?
So this is how this works. Your choice. You pick 3 items. You choose the item, and you roll your percentile, choosing either 30 random numbers or 30%, like 1 to 30, 60 to 90, whatever it is. And if you hit that mark, then that item is there and you get it. And then that's the end of it. If you roll and you don't get it, you pick the next item on your list, pick that 30 percentile and see if you get it.
Okay.
All right. Loki, you asked, so why don't you go first? Name the item. And then name your numbers and roll that percentile die.
I need to pick 3 items?
Yeah. If you haven't done it already, you can pick somebody who
nail it on the first one.
Yeah, or just 1 and you get it. Yeah, exactly. Which I think is
That's what I did.
I was just going to say, I think that's what Chris did. So, yep.
I'm looking at items right now. I feel like it has to be an elven kind item.
And just for the
All
record,
right,
for anybody who doesn't know, Fizzgig is a artificer an armorer artificer, which I have no idea how to play. So,
well,
it's going to be it's going to be fine.
Okay, and am I rolling a d20 or d100?
D100, and then pick your 30%. So, I mean, you could go 1 to 10, 40 to 50, 70 to 80. Just you got to pick 30%. So 30 numbers, and then roll and see if you get it. But you got to call it to you to say what you're picking. So.
All right, Cloak of Elven Kind, 70 to 100.
All right. All right.
That was my initial saying 1 to 30.
Okay. So next is you pick another item and see if there's a 30 percentile chance that you get it. Again, the people of 10 Towns may not have these items, but there is a chance that they may have brought it to you in appreciation of services rendered.
Lit of blasting.
That sounds gross, but okay. What's your percentile, and then roll it.
We'll go high again. Ah,
Oh man. All right, third option.
uh, well, going down the lists.
He should be able to roll until he gets at least one.
It's not how this works. I like your thought process, but no.
It's the claw machine that's for the candy. That's what we're trying to get. Instead of the one that takes your money when it doesn't grab the item. Of course, Tom's that one. What a bitch.
I expect nothing less. I know.
Would this be?
Also, please know that items that other people ask for, you can ask for as well. So it's not like if Loki had said a cloak of elven kind, that no one else could ask for a cloak of elven kind and roll for it. Like all items are on the table from the uncommon list.
Can he roll for the cloak again or no?
No, like you as a player can only choose it once, but you as a party could choose it multiple times. So like if you all wanted a cloak of elven kind, you could have rolled for it, kind of thing. All right, Loki, what's your third choice?
Let's just go with Pearl of Power.
That's a good
And,
one.
yeah, gonna go high again. There we go.
There you go,
Nice.
Pearl of Power.
Meant to be.
I actually think that of those three items, that's the most low key of those items. All right, so we've got Dolan and we've got Kevin. Who wants to go next on this?
Kevin.
All right. Kevin, call your item, call your percentile.
All right. Let's go with a Sentinel Shield. And we're going to go with 40 to 70.
All right.
Fuck.
All right.
Okay.
What's your next item?
Let's figure that out. I had one in mind. For a second. All right, let's go. Same numbers. Bag of holding.
Bag of holding. Good. That's a good one.
God damn it.
Oh no!
All right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm rooting for you to get nothing, but I'm giving you a chance.
Yeah, I just have to have another character die that's, about to get an amazing item. That's the only way I can get stuff.
Just keep trading up.
That wasn't a shot at you. That was more just I've got no opportunities.
Well, so Chris,
right.
technically, Kevin's right behind you in character depth. He's just one away from your total. That's all.
Yeah, but can't kill Ziada.
All right,
I was hoping with, especially with that armor. Let's go with like a plus.
And yet you keep rubbing it in.
I suppose.
It's my job. I'm sorry, Kevin. I didn't hear you. What were you going with?
A +1 weapon. A sword.
Oh, okay. All right.
Same numbers.
What's your same numbers? All right.
We can fail that one. Oh, there we go. Nice. Very good.
Okay, so Ziada, maybe the gods, seeing that she for no cost got a very expensive set of armor, was like, no, nothing for you with that. All right, we go over to Dolan. Dolan, name your item and name your 30 percentile.
Where's your die?
I'm going to go for the parapet of wound closure.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's what I got.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go 1 to 30 because
Okay.
that's typically how I roll.
I'll also allow 0 because you could roll 2 zeros and a 0. So 0 to 30 for that.
You got it. Thanks.
Don't worry, you'll get a 72. Oh my God, you got it on first try.
Okay.
First try. So you got it. You got a parapet of wound closing, which is nothing besides something I'm going to make an imp steal from you in your sleep. You and Fizzgig. But good stuff. Good stuff.
And I'm allowed to keep trying,
No, you just get
or
the one
no?
item.
I'm done.
Just
No, you
yeah.
only get one. That sucked.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? You should keep going. But
Yeah.
you told me no.
Right.
No, you got the one and done. That's good enough. That's good enough. All right.
Right back.
So, couple things to consider that I also want to lay out there. So, Kevin, because you did not get a thing, I'm going to say that you get to roll 3d10, and I'm going to tell you what your local priest of Amantur, the sun god up here in the north. It's Lathander everywhere else, but Amantur up here in the north has given you. So roll 3d10 and tell me what you get.
3, 5,
All right.
and 2 for a total of 10.
So you get, there's a little bonus that I was going to add to this. You get a wand of Cure Light Wounds that has an additional 5 charges. So you have a wand that has 15 charges of Cure Light, which is the same as a base cure potion that any one of the party can use.
Nice.
If you want to, as an added bonus to this, if you use it, it is an action to use in combat, but you can also use a bonus action to cast this twice in a round, if you so choose.
Cool. All right. Who needs to be able to heal?
I like that.
Yeah, I think our backline having that would be helpful.
Well, I'm keeping the potions, so someone else can do that.
Yeah, we'll spread the healing.
I like to think that maybe Novakri took a feat in some sort of like ranged attack, so she just whips potions at people now. She doesn't have to get next to you; just breaks them over your skin, and like you take a little damage, but that much more healing.
Nice. Going kind of. I feel like you're going with the descent sort of stuff.
Yeah, I just lob healing grenades now. I don't. That's what I do. It's just what I do. All right, so we have taken care of potential cash and prizes. Remember, each of you received 500 gold from the people of 10 towns in thanks for saving them from the destruction that was the Chartland Dragon. The Chartland Dragon now lays forever at the bottom of Lake Dineshire here, over by East Haven here. So is there anything that anybody wants to do? You guys have rested. You have healed up. The 10 towns are trying to rebuild and bring things back. Dugan's Hole, the people from Dugan's Hole have kind of migrated to other locations to try and find new homes, etc. But is there, group shopping? Is there anything else that you guys want to do before we kind of get into the stories that moves forward with what Valen wants to toss in front of you?
Well, now that you say it like that, now we have to start doing insight checks on Villain. See if she's leading us into a trap.
Did he do it on purpose? Did he do it on purpose?
I forget what I was gonna ask. Other than could I just get a recap when you get a second on the plate mail and or the plate armor and all that it did?
So I would love to do that, but that would require me to run back upstairs and make a bunch of noise to find the notes in the notebook that I do not have in front of me right now. So I can go back and dig that back up. I just don't have it in front of me right now.
Yeah, just whenever you get a chance on that.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks.
It's plate mail that does some stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Hang
It's
on,
been a bit.
I'm
I don't remember all the stuff.
It's all right. Basically it was plate mail that had two. I remember it had two magic effects that were granted by like the random table that was rolled for, and I don't remember what those effects are, but I know I wrote it down, so I will go back and find that.
All right, cool.
But so for the time being, I would just say that you have plate mail with like all of the added benefits of the plate mail, and we'll have to go back and check that out. So okay,
Exactly.
all right, cool. Does anybody else need like shopping? Do you need to get components? Is there stuff and things that you're trying to get a hold of? Maybe contact points, etc. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm always up for seeing what kind of potions or healing potions I can find.
I'll tell you this, that after the dragon attack, the towns are going to be a little low as they're still trying to deal with the wounded and everything from there. But if there's something you're looking for, there's probably a 40% chance that you can still get your hands on it. So whatever you want, roll a percentile die. You can pick the percentile high or low or middle or whatever you want. And if you roll and get it, then it'll be for each one. So if you're going to try to get like a normal or a cure moderate, it'll be a 40%. If you're going to try to get a serious, or I think this critical, those are going to be a lesser chance, but you could try to get them if you want.
Well, I've got 10 regulars, so I want to try to get a couple greater healing potions.
Like just standard ones that cost 50 gold apiece.
I've got 10 of those.
Oh, so you want to get like a moderate. So I believe those are like 100. I think those are 100. I'm not sure, but let's go with 100. We'll call it 100. You're getting the 10 towns. Thanks for not letting us die discount. So 100 gold. You could, with the 500 gold you were just granted, you could buy up to 5 of them. I'll say that you can try to find up to 5 of them. Roll your percentile, but call out what your percentile is before you roll it.
Okay, I forgot to call out. Let's go with
You got a 40% chance. So
let's go with mid 40 to 80.
okay,
40
roll it.
to 80.
Yep. I didn't see anything.
Just assume he got it. Yep.
Oh, he did. You're right, Kevin. Assume he got it. All right, so you found one moderate, 100 gold. Check that off. Are you going to try for the other 4?
Sure.
All right, just roll that same roll like 4 times. See what you get. I'm sorry. If you want to keep those same numbers of 40 to 80, or 41 to 80, I should say.
Yeah, might as well.
All right. See what you get. Yeah, that's a miss.
No, I didn't. That's just a mess up. I rolled one. Oh no! Wait a sec. So that is 4 rolls: a 6, a 14, a 47, and a 33. So I got 1.
So you got one more. So mark 200 gold off your total, and you now have 2 cure moderate wounds, which I think is like 2d8 plus or something like that. So cool. Awesome. Does anybody else need to do some shopping or look for things or try to contact people or what have you?
I'm going to pick up an additional healer's kit.
You can't. They're all out. I'm kidding. You don't even have to roll. It's there. Grab it. No worries. All right. Anybody else?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. I like to give people the options, the opportunities. I'm going to see, I think I have a map. I have a cat who's just in the room yelling at me. That's fun. Standard thing. So do I have the North Look? We had a map that was, yep, I do. I'm going to bring you guys to the Northlook then, and that is the pub, the tavern that you guys first started in way back when. And you guys find yourselves in there. It's been a little bit of time. You guys have had a chance, like I said, to heal up. You've enjoyed a little bit of fame and renown. Ronaldo may have, in fact, written a song about your escapades. There was a part of me that was going to introduce us tonight with that, and then I was like, you know what? Now we'll save that. We'll save that for another moment. But this is the very room in which Loki found a key in the mouth of Old Bitey, the big fish that was mounted on the wall. I think that might have been episode 1. This lovely gem of a thing right here. Oh, maybe it's this. Oh, maybe not. Well, whatever it is. But yeah, so you guys are there. And the door opens up and the biting wind blows in, and it's a reminder that, like, despite your victories, despite the successes that you've brought to 10 towns, there is still an overwhelmingly epic, if not deity-related problem that 10 towns is suffering, and that is this eternal winter. And so Vaylin comes in and she kind of nods to all of you and then walks over to the table and says, You've had a few weeks to think about things. I think it's time I pitch you my idea. Are you all willing to listen?
Sure.
Said the beginning of every great adventure. Sure, I'm in. So you all gather around her. One of these long tables. Scramsack's behind the counter, kind of, gives you the eye and then goes back to what he's working on. And she goes, I need your help to find an ancient city that's buried under the ice. This city was known as Yithrin, a lost fragment of the Empire of Nethril. Those wizards created many things of magic that we find scattered across the world today. Magic's beyond our capabilities. And I say this as one of the elite students coming from the Arcane Brotherhood. These magic items in this city hold magic beyond anyone's wildest dreams. And I'm fairly convinced that we can find a thing there that might end this hateful winter. Are you still interested?
Underwater?
Yes.
He was under the ice. Not so. It's a good question, but the ice and the moving seas, well, that's out to the northeast. I'm talking out under the Ragged Glacier itself, which is the northeast. To cut back, like, I'm not going to cut us out of the scene and go back to it, but it was basically like where that huge white expanse to the north, to the upper right was on the map. She goes, well, the Arcane Brotherhood has many diviners, people who use divine magic or divination magic, and they learned that this Yithrin was buried deep inside the glacier itself. In fact, some speculate that the glacier may have been literally magically formed over the crashed city. Are you all familiar at all with Netheril and its empire?
Yep.
If I remember correctly, you guys had uncovered some things about Netheril. In fact, you had found something marked on a map that one of the Dwergar had about like a Netherese ruin or a Netherese something up in the same general vicinity.
Back.
And somebody had rolled a check. Don't worry, you're in it. You're in it to win it, Chris. And somebody had rolled a check, and I'd given you guys some information about like the Netherese and the Empire of Netheril. But Velen continues and she says, I believe that the glacier can be cracked open at a place where a waterfall once flowed down its side. But that waterfall, with the emergence of this damned eternal winter, is frozen solid. It means we got to find a way to break in. And that means we need to find a way through the ice. The Brotherhood and myself have already found the waterfall, but what we need to do now is find a way to break open the glacier. And I think I know how to do it, but it's not a good idea.
What's your idea?
How much do you know about Oral and her minions?
They suck.
They're soon to die.
She
No,
like
we don't like 'em.
I imagine that like she just smiles and you see this like wizened old face, this wizened old necromancer who's got an eye patch over one eye and has like undead kobolds walking around her at all times. Just kind of she smiles and just kind of like like cackles a little bit at that. She says, Oral has minions across the world, but clearly she's got an army that's here, that have come here to service her. All of her followers are adherents to the tenets that her holy text proclaims. That text is called the Codicil of White. Now, I have with me here something that I don't want you to freak out a little bit about, but does any of you know what a professor orb is?
No, who's that?
So she kind of looks around and everyone's like, no. And she goes, I take it by your blank expressions that you don't know. So she like puts her hand into her pocket and she pulls out like a bocce ball sized purple orb. That it like sure, you can make an Arcana check, sure. 18. You know that this is a professor orb. So basically, a professor orb is it's usually a sphere that has sentience, whether it is a trapped intelligence from a sentient life form or intelligence that has been gifted to the orb by specific magics. You're not really sure, but she produces this and she says this, and she's just holding this purple ball in her hand. She goes, this is Professor Scant. You should probably say hello.
Hi.
As you guys say hi and howdy, this ball lights up almost like a Christmas light that's on a pattern. It's like, oh, hello, good chaps. How are you today?
I am moderately neato.
Oh, that's an interesting turn of phrase. I don't know that. I'll have to mark that down. Oh, Velin, do we know Nito? Is that a new? And she just shakes her head and she says, Professor Scant has been a part of my family's collection for a long time. And it has an ungodly amount of information about the Netherese. And it's like, oh, yes, let me tell you about the Netherese. They were formed some 10,000 years ago, and they were mighty in their own way. They cleaved the tops of mountains off and turned them into floating cities. And she just kind of puts the ball back in her pocket. So it's like, see the light kind of glowing out of it. She goes, I've had a lot of conversations with him, and he knows a lot. It's actually because of his interactions with other members of the Arcane Brotherhood and their knowledge about Oral and the Netherese that I've come to this conclusion that if we can get to Oral's island, which is somewhere out in the sea of moving ice, and find the codicil, there is a spell contained within it that can carve a passage directly through the glacier. It's, for lack of a better way to put it, it would essentially be a shape stone spell that shapes ice on a massive level. Something that ordinary spellcasters would be unable to do without the guidance of this spell. What I can tell you is, I can tell you this additionally. Divination magics, before I came here, and before my compatriots all split off and, well, you saw avarice and what we had to deal with the dragon. They're all a bit greedy, and they're all after they're after power. I'm just interested in bringing some resolution to the north. What I can tell you is the codicil is being held in a fortress that previously was controlled by frost giants. But once Oral moved into this geography, she took it over as her own. And this island upon which this forest is on this mist-shrouded moving area within the sea of moving ice.
Ellen, why is it you're interested in ending this curse over 10 towns, and your comrades are just interested in power?
Since I'll be honest with you, I'm not particularly fond of 10 towns, nor do I really care. But I can tell you that Yithrin is a source of power, and I crave power. And you, if you'll help me, are probably the best ticket anyone has to try and get it.
And once you get the power in Yithrin, what of our alliances? Or what of the fact that we do care for 10 towns and don't want anything to happen to it? Will you honor those?
She looks at you and she says, "That's a good question to ask." And so she kind of thinks about it for a moment. And then she takes her glove off. She's got these like teal colored leather gloves that she pulls off. It kind of goes up to her elbow, and she pulls it off, and there's it's not like pasty white, but she's got very white skin underneath. And she puts her hand out to anyone who'll take it, and she says, "I honor a pact with you that whatever is found in Yithrin, we will use to remove Oral and this curse from 10 towns."
I'll shake her hand.
Does anybody else wish to do that?
I mean, that's fine. Do I have to shake your hand to accept the pact?
Well, I was really hoping for some sort of like cool, like the camera flows up to the ceiling and looks down, and you guys make like a form of Voltron, and all your hands lock into a weird semicircle of handshakes. But no, it's cool. You don't want to do that.
Can I do an insight check or something?
Absolutely. What are you inciting about?
Is she full of shit? I mean, is she telling the truth here? But she's going to help us with Oral, and she's going to help us with the curse. But then she's going to like try to become a demigod or a god herself and rule the rest of the world. Like, does she have really sinister ulterior motives? Can I insight all of those things?
I'll tell you what. Roll an insight, and I'll see what I can give you. How about that? 23. It's a great one. So here's what you know. She is absolutely sincere that if you are willing to help her track down this codicil, crack open the glacier, and get to Yithrin, that whatever you discover there, she will make sure that 10 towns is brought back to Oral is sent away, and 10 towns is brought back to a state that it was before Eternal Winter. But with a 23, you also know that the inherent flaw to anyone who studies magic is that they seek power. Now, what they do with it varies greatly, right? Like you have people like Elminster who have done nothing but seek to maintain balance in the world and fight for the cause of justice or goodness. And then you have other spellcasters and mages and arcanists who the reason that the Chardalyn in the north is so tainted is because a spellcaster found it at one point and summoned demons with it. So, I mean, you're talking to a necromancer. I mean, is this a Veridux the Third? You don't know that, but that's a character I played in another game who was just a sort of a very hybrid pain in the ass, but it wasn't a bad guy. Or is it not? What you do know is she is very sincere about saying that she will honor a pact with you and that she will ensure that 10 Towns is brought back to a state of rightness with whatever is discovered.
Can I amend that agreement slightly?
She doesn't pull her hand away, but she looks at you and says, I think that's going to depend. What's your arrangement?
I'm sure there will be hundreds, if not thousands, of amazing magical items down there, and I'm sure you're going to want many, many of them. My slight amendment would be that only one of the items of which you choose to remove from this place, you will agree to allow me to take instead. Of my choosing.
She looks at you and she says, I will change the arrangement. There is one item that I want, if it's there.
Uh-huh.
The rest you can have. And then from her pocket, can I tell them? Can I fill them in? Should we let them know?
Yes, you can, Professor.
And she looks down at her pocket. She's still holding her hands. She takes she's only got the one eye because she's got the patch on the other. And so it slowly moves from your face down to her pocket. And she goes, yes, you can fill them in, Professor. And so the ball, this time, of its own accord, floats up and just kind of hovers in the middle of the table. It's like, oh, all right, chaps, let me tell you. So, as we had discussed earlier, the Netherese were wizards that came from learned humans that learned their magic craft from the elves. They studied powerful artifacts known as the Nether Scrolls. No one knows who created these. Some say the elves and others say others. Who knows? It's the mystery. It's so much fun to learn. But what we can tell is that the Netherese themselves learned powerful magics that allowed them to do things that are beyond even the wildest dreams of the mages of our today. They lifted cities in the sky. They took the tops of mountains off. They leveled fields and raised forests. They were unto gods themselves. But the problem was they always wanted more. And so sometimes they started to look into darker places to try and find powers that were even beyond. And Velen kind of coughs, and she goes, Scant, get to the point, the item. And he's like, oh, yes, I digress. I'm sorry. So what my illustrious owner was speaking about is something called a mythlar or a mythalar, depending upon the elvish or the human iteration you choose to speak with. So, most interesting, these orbs, some of which were no larger than myself, others the size of large meeting halls, were capable of fundamentally changing the fabric of reality amongst themselves. For example, we are currently in this hellish winter. A mythlar could quite potentially make this an arid desert if someone chose, or return it to normal. It also potentially, and again, here is where science meets theory, perhaps would allow us to repel Oral herself from this zone. Isn't that most fascinating?
That seems really dangerous. Like really, really fucking dangerous.
I'm in.
Do you say that out loud, or do you say that to yourself?
I said that out loud.
Professor Scant goes,
If
"Oh,
you
most
give it a twirl,
assuredly.
I'm
We,
fine.
we could all die doing this, but that's the adventure of science, is it not?" And so Villain, with that, like, puts her hand out, and like she doesn't forcefully, like she almost gently, and you notice her glove is back on her hand now. She like puts it around Professor Scant, and he's like, "I have more to say. I have more to say." And she puts him back in her pocket, and she goes, "You are all not unaccustomed to danger. Your episodic adventures to this point precede you. I am not saying that this is not going to be dangerous. We're literally going to go try to find the Ice Maiden's fortress and take something from it, or find a thing that we can take something from within it. And then go. Wait," she goes, "Wait, please, let me finish. And then we're going to try to find a way to make her go away. I can only assume that she is aware of things that you guys, that all of you have done to this point. So we are only potentially seeking her further ire by doing this. Not to mention there are those from the Arcane Brotherhood, as you've already seen, who will, or potentially will, try to thwart us in this path. But I think that this is our best chance to bring 10 Towns back to reality, or back from this icy hell that it's in right now. And I won't make you roll an insight check because you rolled a 23 before, and you think that she is 100% being honest with that. And her statement about, like, I want the Mythalar, I'm going to call it Mythalar. The Mythalar is on point.
Let me be clear. When I say this sounds really fucking dangerous, I don't mean for our lives. I mean anyone holding the power to change the fabric of reality. And how can I believe that in your hands you will bring our current reality back to normalcy and then not do something else later that will completely annihilate this planet in one way or another? Is this an experiment for you? Have you been trained in using this magical item? Do you absolutely know how to use and control it?
From her pocket, "If I may, no one in at least 1,000 years has been trained in using this magic." And like she just like buttons her pocket, so it's sort of like fully. And she goes, "You raise valid concerns, and I can't begrudge you those. What I will say is this: my concern and my quest for power has nothing to do with 10 Towns. It has everything to do with the Brotherhood."
So this is a question for the DM. With that insight check, can I determine somewhat where I think her alignment stands? And do I feel like she is fully against the Brotherhood, as in wants to annihilate them, or wants to control them or become the power leader of them in some way?
So, you know what? I'll give you a little bit of all of that because it was a 23. It was a great roll. She is a neutral party, and I don't mean chaotic. I don't mean good. I don't mean evil. She is a straight up neutral party in this. But as a neutral party, that's probably the best case scenario you could ever have for leadership or like a controlling faction of the Arcane Brotherhood. And we talked about the Arcane Brotherhood a while ago. Basically, the Arcane Brotherhood is a school for wizards, mages, etc. that is this like huge deal that has 8 towers, and each one of the towers has is based for like the traditions of magic. So like evocation, abjuration, divination, necromancy, etc. And so if her goal is to take this thing and go back and be like the archmage of the Tower of Necromancy, and she's a neutral party, that's probably the best anyone could hope for a mage that's chasing power.
Yes. I'm down with neutral. I'm fine with that. Okay. Defense rests.
All right, so she goes, so if that's agreed and you're all in, my research has, you hear like from the pocket, and she's like, I'm not going to have them explain. I'm going to explain. It's going to be way quicker for me to do this. We've got a couple options to try and get out to Oral's abode. As I stated, it is an island of ice that moves, so there is no course to be plotted to it directly. We've got a couple ways to maybe get to it that I found, both with my own research and what Scant, when he talked to the other Arcane Brotherhood members before they split off, found out. One, we could try and make friends with the Goliaths in the mountains. The Goliaths have access to hippogriffins, and the hippogriffs or hippogriffins can potentially carry us out there. However, the Goliaths are unruly and a bit chaotic, and getting that done is going to be difficult. The next is to directly north of where we are now. I'm not going to go back. I almost said I'm not going to go back to the map in her voice, but she's like, directly north to us, several days travel north, is a prison called Rebel's End. It is a place that all of this land, not just 10 towns, but all of Faerun, send the worst of their criminals. I know of a pirate captain who brings goods there on a regular basis because he's capable of plodding through the sea of moving ice. If we could go there, we may be able to meet up with him, at which point charter passage for a cost. And then our third option, which may or may not be our best option, but I have no guarantees, is, have you heard of Angjak's Bell?
Nope.
And some of you may have, some of you may have heard of this. In fact, I think you have, because we had it on the map. And basically, it was a story or a legend that you had heard about a whale that was willing to carry passengers through the sea of moving ice. And so maybe one of you offers that, or maybe all of you stay silent. And she looks around, and she says, Angjak is an awakened whale that, whether it was one of Oral's followers or someone else, they brought this creature to sentience, and it has chosen a path of enlightenment and congeniality. Congeniality. I think I said that right. Congeniality. Thank you. You talk to undead kobolds long enough, you forget how to say words, because they're all like hiss, hiss, rap, rap, and you're like, oh god, enough. But there is a bell almost to the north of us, probably 2.5 days travel north of here, that if we ring the bell, the whale will come. It has a ship that is, suffice it to say, attached to its back with a giant air bubble that passengers are allowed to carry on. And it could dive under the waves and bring us to Oral's abode, should it be willing to do that. This is what my research, and in her pocket, she's like, oh, and mine too. And she like buttons her pocket up again. She's like, shut up, Scant. Because this is what our research has shown are potential ways to get to the island. The island itself I don't know much about, besides it is Oral's abode, and besides the fact that there may be better times or worse times to arrive. As we all know, Oral flies off during the night to cast her divine magics and make this place never go beyond the beginning of day. That might be the best moment to get there. But it is going to take time. It's going to take travel. It's going to take exposure to the elements. It's going to take a Christmas break. Exactly. Montage. No. So she goes, what say you? What do you think is our best option? And as the DM's going to sit back, he's going to crack a beer and let you guys talk about that for a hot minute. So you got 3 options: magic whale, Goliaths and hippogriffins, and a pirate ship at a prison.
I like the pirate ship and prison idea.
I was leaning towards the whale, but that's just because I'm a druid.
I was also going for the whale because we've known about that one for a long time. And that that's kind of been my plan for going that way since we kind of heard about it.
I'm new, but I still like the idea of the Goliaths.
Same.
Oh shit! So we've got a big party split on this one. Wow, I did not see this coming. So
I'll go anywhere.
oh my god! And
Well,
all of a
good,
sudden,
'cause you lost your vote, so
Yeah, obvious.
you were well. So wait. So how about this? How about this? So you've got 2 people that are pulling for the Goliaths. You've got 2 people that are pulling for the whale. Do you guys want to maybe throw your pros and cons at Novakri and see which way she goes? So what are the pros of going with the whale, and what are the
It
pros of
smells
going
like
with
fish. No.
whales are mammals.
It
There's a ship
smells
with
like
an air
fish.
bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been
Which-
on this ride before?
I mean, it's not just a ship. It's a submarine with an air
Right.
bubble.
It's
It's
a living
stealthy.
submarine.
It's incognito. There's no other people we have to worry about or contend with. It's most likely going to be a neutral alignment without its own twisted motivations, just to name a few.
To be honest, I
Um,
do like that idea of it being underwater because it is kind of more the stealth approach, I would imagine, than, the hippogriffins flying through the air.
So Chris and TJ, roll me a knowledge nature. All right. Oh, Fizzgig, you know everything, or at least you think you do. So Loki, with a 15, that's high enough to know that should you be able to acquire the hippogriffs to fly, you would be effectively in the sky. That the hippogriffs themselves they're basically immune to the cold weather effects unless they're really bad cold weather effects. But nobody in the group has yet been exposed to flying in the cold weather, so you don't know what that would be like. It could be fine, or it could be bad.
So, based off of that information and what Harvest has said, it sounds like whales are a better option. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, what I'm saying is you don't know. The hippogriffs, maybe by just cuddling with them as they fly, you're totally fine. A 15 wasn't enough to know everything. You just know that they're okay in the cold weather and altitudes. But with a 15, you don't know if you're going to be okay in cold weather and altitudes.
I guess I would be more comfortable with a druid that can probably speak to the whale, and that we would be, I guess, safer as long as it's not hungry on the trip.
Whales eat plankton. We're way bigger than plankton.
Unless it's an orca.
But like, where are we?
If an
We
orca
said we're
shows
in
up
the whale?
with a tiny
Well-
ship on it, we were screwed to begin with.
Hold on. I want to bring you guys back to the map now. Now is a good enough time to bring you guys back to the map so we can look at this. So, where is it? Frostmaiden. Here we go. All right. So I've zoomed all the way out. So Ongjox, I'm going to say Ongjox. I'm just because I like the way that sounds. Ongjox Bell is right there. Shift Z, so folks can see it. Revel's End, the prison, is up here, and the Goliath tribes are down there. Potentially, you would have to find them in the mountains. And also, fuck you, Rob Foster, because when I played a Goliath in 3.5, he called it a Goliath. And every time somebody said Goliath when we first started playing this game, aka TJ, because he was playing one, I'm like, it's Goliath. Totally Goliath, because that guy made my brain think it was that thing. So, anyways.
Well, I guess I'll go with the whale because I really don't want to talk to other people.
I'm tired of talking to people. Just want to shoot my laser rifle. Moving on. All right. So in that case, is there anything anybody wants to do before you set out for this? Like Velen basically says, like, well, if the plan has been struck and we're good to go, I mean, I'm ready to go. But
Healing potions, lots of them.
I'd like to revamp my spells as well, knowing where I'm going now and what's happening.
okay, I mean, like 100%. Like you guys can, like, as far as getting your spells ready, etc. Couple things to consider. One, this is going to be a multiple day travel, right? So like from Bryn Shander, you're looking at the first day will probably get you up to somewhere about here. Second day get you closer to the place we're on the map, and then the third day will be, or halfway through the second day or the third day will be there. So you guys can do that, no problem. I mean, and as a spellcaster, you can redo your spells as needed per day, so no worries there. I'm just saying, is there anything that you guys want to load up on, get before you do this? You're effectively going to go into a god's home to steal from it. Because
Healing
that's
spells. Healing
because
potions, lots of them.
I just want to finish, because that's going to let you find a thing that lets you break into a giant ice rock to go find another ancient civilization to make that go away. That's the plan. I mean, in a nutshell, that's the plan.
Yeah.
And I
sounds
don't
like
see
it.
anything wrong with this plan.
Well, I mean, it's
I think there's plenty wrong with this plan, but it's the best plan you have.
Well, it's the only plan we have.
yeah, it's
Best
more just
only,
a matter
yeah.
of how we get to the starting point of this plan. Is
All
really
right,
the
so
only
let's-
question.
All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna say, take a minute, think about if there's anything else you want to like try to find before you leave. You got a wand of healing. You bought some potions. You got a whole bunch of backup potions. You got a new character who hasn't figured himself out yet. You've got an owl. Think about it for a minute, and then I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. And when I come back, we're gonna set off.
Can anybody find out what the challenge rating of orcas is?
No clue.
Not.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Huh.
All right. Back.
3.
Is there a-
Looks like it's 3.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's fine.
Well, I'm hearing math. What is happening?
No. Just numbers.
Orcas.
Orcas are happening.
Orcas are yeah.
But no, not specifically.
You know
not
what?
Orca, 'cause
I
it's
don't think
killer
I've ever
whale.
heard that before in a D&D game, but I love it. I love it to death. That's amazing.
That's fine. Reef sharks will work. Okay.
We discussed, and everyone is with me, that we need the professor. He's part of the payment.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I think that is a conversation to have at a different time. You will notice. You know what? I mean, it's a possibility, right? It's a possibility. But what I will say is, you notice
We had a
that
whole
like
conversation about we get items and such.
items in the city. That is clearly an item in the possession of villain.
Well, once we
Definitely.
get
So
there,
I
it'll
wanted
be in
to
the
open
city.
it to discussion now. This is what I present her with.
As we're prepping to leave on this epic adventure, I want to talk to you about Scant. I'll talk to you about Scant for a minute. She will, if you approach her, she will tell you, "Get out of here, Anna." She will tell you that
So dismissive.
Scant is something that has been in her family's possession for centuries, and she would be. It would take a lot to barter to get it to give it up, but
Sounds like Loki's proposing.
she'll like kind of like tuck Scant away, and she says, "I'm a creature of necessity. And if this is something that needs to be made at some point, always know that chips are always on the table."
It seemed like you were annoyed with him. You're kind of sick of it.
He goes, "So you've met Scant for a scant, if you'll allow me the pun, a scant 10 minutes. If you've ever spent an hour in a room, he never stops talking. Ever. Ever.
Yep.
Which is why I kept shutting him up."
Oh, I can help with that by taking him.
She goes, "But his knowledge and his resourcefulness is something that I'm not willing to part with at this time. But I
Yeah,
can
I
appreciate."
had a theory about that. So, how large is Scant when we see him?
Scant is about the size of a bocce ball.
Bocce ball.
What's a
About
better?
like a candlepin bowling.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like a good size orange, but yeah, candlepin bowling ball. It's another good idea. I'm realizing in my head that like I've never known what the diameter or radius of one of those is before, so I'm just throwing things out there that are roughly the same size.
Bocce ball. Let's see.
So here's the thing. If Loki, if you propose to her, then you're in the family.
Oh, I mean, I didn't even think of that. That's
that's
a move. That's a move.
that's just
Doesn't
the
doesn't she
dowry.
have to say yes for that to
Details.
technically be?
Details.
That is a power move. That is a power move right there.
So, is it the smaller size ball or the bigger size ball in bocce?
The bigger, the Polini is the tiny like golf size ball, golf ball size ball.
Heard anyone who actually knew what that thing was?
So I don't know. I don't know if you
Tommy
guys know this. Wait. I don't know if you know this or not, but I have played competitive bocce before in my life.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, you fucking nerd.
Wait. I have to say this. I was on crutches and I was hungover, but my sister somehow got like engaged in like a professional bocce ball tournament, and she was like, I need people to come play with me. And I was like, I'm on crutches. And she's like, I need people. And we beat several Italian, like old Italian, like
Yeah.
teams. And they
Of
were
course you
very
did.
mad at us. They were very mad. We did not win, but we beat them. And they were people that I'm pretty sure I've been cursed to this day because of. So just saying.
It's like, yeah, dude, if I can beat you with a broken fucking leg, the sport's really not too hard.
It's not too well,
If I can fucking break your ankles when my leg is broken in a basketball game, you really shouldn't be on the court.
I'm just saying it's one of those things where it's like there's also the pure blind dumb luck to take into consideration too, and that was what we were rolling with, which got us through like 4 rounds, and then we just shit the bed, and that was the end of the game. But yeah. Anyways, all right. I apologize. We went way off course.
It's too big. It's too big. Never mind. I thought he was like a marble. It's all good.
No, he's much bigger than that. Yeah, Scant is much bigger than that.
All right,
Put him in a
disinterested.
I'm only interested in intelligent speaking marbles. That's it.
It needs to be a marble.
We have our
maybe,
preferences.
Wait,
you know what?
Wait.
Maybe this is something your arcane tradition will teach you to make.
hold on. I can learn enlarge, reduce. This might work. All right, he's back on the table.
I like to imagine you're gonna cast reduce on him, but it's just gonna reduce Valen's like coat, and so she's gonna have like a Smurf sized coat on. The ball's gonna pop out. She's gonna be like, "Why are you doing this to me?"
It's me in the marble. That's actually not a marble yet.
Well, listen. If Valen dies, then maybe you can get it. Who knows? I mean, we'll see what happens.
Get that in writing.
Get that in writing. She, as far as you know, apart from her undead kobold, she has no next of kin.
Well, we tried to notify them, but couldn't find them. I guess it's
They only spoke undead. They only spoke undead. Kobold. Yeah, Italian. I mean, which is literally Italian. Undead kobold, Italian. Yeah, there you go. All right. So, did you guys need to do or try to acquire anything else, or are you guys setting off?
Healing potions.
Like regular healing potions, or above that regular healing potions?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're just going to get regular healing potions, you're all set. You can buy what you want of it. If you're going to try to get moderate above, you got to make those checks that I was having Novakri make.
All right, which check is that?
All right, so if you're going to try to buy a moderate, it's 100 gold, and you roll with a 40% chance of making it. So you pick your 40%. If you're going to try to buy, what is it? Is the next one superior or critical? I don't remember. Greater. I'm sorry. If you're going to try to buy a greater, you've got a 20% chance of getting it. So you're going to roll to try to do that. But it costs 150 gold. And if those prices aren't right, that's the discount that they're offering you guys right now. Now, before you roll anything, you got to say what you're doing and call it.
And how much are the regular potions?
50 gold apiece. You know what? Because you guys are fan favorites right now, 45.
How much gold do we have in the collective bargaining pool?
But don't forget that you were granted, you were given 500 gold for your success against the dragon. So you, whatever else the party has, you have 500 gold of your own right now.
The 500 we pulled in, so
to attain a feat.
The 500 that we pooled together right now brings us almost to 3,000 gold.
I mean, you could get a pretty cool item for that too.
29.52.
Can I get a freaking brand spanking new suit of armor? It has all these
Hold on. what kind of armor are you trying to get?
Wait. I
aren't-
already
wait,
ordered.
hold on. First of all, aren't you an armorer? Like, shouldn't you be making your own armor right now?
I have my own armor.
He's just jealous.
Yeah, that was supposed to be.
He's supposed to be wearing his own skin, not
Well,
not
no,
someone else wearing it.
I was just thinking, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess we could try to figure that out, man. With $3,000, you should probably get like a pretty decent set of armor. And then I'm like, wait a minute, your literal class is armorer. You should be good. So, anyways, besides jealousy and rage, is anybody trying to get anything else?
Um,
I'm only trying for the potions of healing. That's all.
All right, so tell me what you're going to do, and then we'll roll to see if you can get them. If you can't get them, you can't get them. But that's what we're going to do.
How many potions of healings do you guys want to have?
Well, you guys are pretty set up right now. Novakri's got like a pretty good cache of them, and somebody, I think Dolan is carrying a wand that's got 15 basic like heal potions in it. Like if she waves it at you, it's a cure potion. So 1d8 plus whatever it is.
Oh, I didn't think I was given that. That's the one you just gave.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I
gave that
Novakri
to
roll
you.
for it. Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
sorry. I
think-
thought you guys did it.
I don't think I should have that because I have other ways to heal people. I think giving someone the wand who doesn't have the ability to heal.
I was thinking
normally-
maybe Fizzgig potentially because it's like that gives
Yeah,
Anybody- yeah.
especially somebody who's going to be up front, a melee fighter who needs to just kind of like heal themselves real quick or heal, a companion right next to them.
Well, having that instead of like the weapon is where I was kind of thinking.
Oh, I got you.
Not as much melee, but
Right.
like anyone who I don't know, maybe if Loki or whoever, someone who doesn't normally have the healing also works, like you said.
Well, it's interesting because I think that each of you have some sort of spell casting ability, which makes each of you equally adept at using this. So, I mean, whoever wants it can have it.
Can Loki normally heal or no?
No, I don't have any healing abilities.
And you can use a wand.
Yes.
So I think maybe Loki is the one who should have the wand.
Yeah, I don't know if Loki ever goes down either. So
Yeah, Loki usually. Well, remember,
all of a sudden he just pops in, bang.
I mean, I'll
I'm
take
out.
it. I'll take it, and I'll use it to heal you.
Wait, you want me to get close to you? No, that's not.
Yeah,
gonna
because
No
then
thanks.
if you go down, it's like, all right, your spells, the wand, the potions. It's like, oh shit.
Right, everything.
Yeah, we got to diversify our healing,
That's what
And
I was
all-
thinking.
our healing portfolio.
I know we're still on this map, so I just want to do this. So, do this over here. Can everybody see where I'm clicking?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's roughly where Villain is saying that like Yithrin
Yeah, it's under
is
the
somehow
ice.
trapped under the ice. So, all right, I just we hadn't said that before. That's why I wanted to make sure I had that covered. All right.
Does
And-
anyone I'm seeing while we're here, potion of cold resistance.
Ooh.
I'm wondering if we should get any of those. I have cold resistance already, so it's something where it's like it's not as much for me, but if people were interested in grabbing some stuff, it might be beneficial.
Yeah.
Let's see.
How much? How are there?
Well, so but it only lasts for an hour.
Yes.
Like the potion only lasts for an hour. Just saying.
So maybe get. I mean, I don't know how many people. I think we've only got me now who has cold resistance, unless someone else does.
Well, doesn't Novakri have the furry ring?
Well, yes, mental cold resistance. I don't
No,
know if that.
no. She has. Oh, you know what? Nope, not gonna say it.
it's a fake. I think it's a ring of warmth.
Right.
Yes, I know. I was joking.
Okay.
So just so you know, a potion of resistance generally costs 300 gold.
All right. So
Well, we
maybe-
all have cold weather gear too, and we haven't needed anything more than that.
So yep, 100%. So what I'm saying is just that like the potion of cold resistance is going to grant the same resistance that your cold weather gear gives.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good thought. I'm just saying that like it doesn't double up. You know, it's kind of like I don't know if fourth edition ever had this, Kevin, but like if you got like, you know, a charisma boost from one thing, you couldn't get another charisma boost from something else. Same thing with this.
Right.
Also, that's a hefty price for 1 hour of cold resistance when you're like,
Yeah.
I literally have 2 sets of clothes. Just saying.
Once you were saying the price, it's just like, ah.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
Okay, so one of the things that I wanted, but being that I got the first thing I wanted, I wasn't able to roll for. Can I see if I can purchase Boots of the Winterlands?
Can you get Boots of the Winterlands? Let's find out. I have to look it up.
It's an uncommon item.
Yep. It is 2,500 gold pieces. I don't think that you and the group is going to have enough money to do that, even if you collectively pool. You might. I don't know what your total like cash and prizes equal right now, but that's
My gold is where do I find gold?
if you go to if you go to inventory,
Inventory?
there should be a total over on the top right hand side, I think.
Uh-huh. So it says I have 2,500 platinum and 1,500 gold pieces.
That can't be right.
In my notes, hold on. There were items that I had that I was able to sell for their monetary value.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if somehow that is correct, then wow, and absolutely. Like you like for like a quarter of your platinum, you can afford these. But what I'm saying is, I don't think this adventure has afforded you that much in platinum in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, hold on. Let's just see. You can nix it. It's fine.
Well, wait. Let me throw it back. I'm gonna go back. Like, I'm gonna grab the book and go back. What did you guys find when you? And I think you were there, Dolan, when you went to the Dark Duchess and you found the Dragon's Hoard.
Okay,
Were
I
you the
don't
one
know
that was? Were you
where we
there for
were.
that?
I don't know where we were, but this is where I got my money from. In my notes, it says dwarvish gold sandals worth 250 gold pieces. Dwarvish smoking jacket worth 500 gold pieces. Dwarvish beard comb worth 750 gold pieces. And platinum hookah worth 2,500 gold pieces. So I'm sorry, that platinum should be 2,500 gold pieces.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So 2,500 gold pieces plus 1,500 gold pieces.
I just want to make sure everybody knows this. If you had 2,500 platinum pieces, you would effectively have 250,000 gold. That's
Right.
why I'm like,
It was a
yeah,
platinum hookah.
yeah, no. That's why I'm like, there's no way that you have that. I mean, like, I don't understand. But if you have that, I mean,
3,000 gold pieces.
no. If you're right, then you have that, and I would say roll me a d20 and call high or low, and if you get it, I might even knock some more money off that, and you can get those boots.
Okay. Well, You want me to roll a d20 and call high or low?
Exactly. Before it shows up, by the way, like not after.
Gotcha. Right. I guess I'll go with low again because that's where I tend to be.
Oh, she gets it. All right, 2,500. They are yours. Deduct that and give yourself some boots of the Winterland.
Okie dokie.
Holy smokes! All right, anybody else? And also, lest I forget this, thanks to some good role playing, thanks to some critical thinking, thanks to some good rolls, you guys also still have an ability to remove curses, I believe, in a figurine of a small archer that you guys never used to deal with the situation with the bear tribe spirit that you dealt with. Correct?
Oh,
Yeah, in the river there, or
Yeah, that was the Verby Troll Cave or whatever it was. The Verby Cave, yeah.
yes,
And somebody opened some rooms, tried to take some stuff, resulted in a curse, but you had 30 days to take care of it, and you took care of it. So, thumbs up, you're good. But there was also a statue that you found out that could remove curse, and you didn't use it. So you have that as well. I mean, unless you want to sell it. If you want to sell it, you can do that too. Just saying.
I think we should definitely keep that.
I mean, I don't want to guide you guys, but that sounds like something you guys cannot do because you don't have a cleric. So maybe hold on to that just in case. You may never need it, but just in case. As you guys are getting ready and sort of like going through all of these processes, there's a chance that you may also overhear something as like Velen is either talking with Professor Scant or Professor Scant is like mumbling in a pocket. So I'd like each of you to give me a perception check. I think I need one more. Kevin, it might be you.
it is. It's coming.
It is.
Okay.
It's funny. I play a Pathfinder 2 game where there's one guy who rolls the dice and we all know what he gets before he gets it because it takes that long for it to show up. All right. So Dolan and Loki and Ziada, you guys, I don't know why I said I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. Harvest and Loki and Ziada, you're busy trying to take care of your business and get things done. But Fizzgig and Novakri, you hear Professor Scant, I should say, making a comment at one point or another about something called the Farum or Tharium. It sounds like he says it differently each time, and each time he says it, it's almost got like a buzzing, like the sound that you would hear when like a bumblebee shows up, like a like it's a weird, like it's almost like he's intoning a word that or they out of fibs. Professor Scant could be a male or a female or a they, who knows? But it seems like they're saying this word in a way that is not common and doesn't seem to be part of a dialect that you're familiar with. But what you do know with a 22 and a 23 is that it doesn't sound like he's speaking positively about that, but that's all that you know. And so I will stop there and say, so have you guys packed up your stuff and are you ready to go?
Pretty much.
Pretty much sounds like let's roll some dice and get going. So
I'm good to
what
go.
are we doing? You good to go? All right, good to go. Good to go.
I want to cast Detect Thoughts on Novakri.
Wow. Okay. I don't know why you couldn't do that. And then Novak, I guess you got to tell him. Is it a will save or like what? Not a will save, like a wisdom save or something.
It says save DC 13, but it doesn't say. You know what? It'll say on this thing. Hopefully, yeah. Wisdom 13.
All right. So Novakri, roll a wisdom save because somebody just Somebody just cost on you. Cast that on you. I feel like we're sowing doubt here. Oh my god. With advantage makes it. You don't know. You don't know Novakri's thoughts. Anything else you want to do? Also, Novakri, you feel like somebody near you has tried to invade your most personal thinking space.
I'm used to it by now.
Get out! Get out! All right.
You forget. I got a rider in my head, anyways.
Yeah, but you don't have a frog in your chest anymore. Bam, 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 bam. Also, fun fact, if no one forgot about that, because the DM didn't. All right, so you guys are going to set off. So here's what we're going to do to set off. It's going to be a 2.5 day journey. We'll say give or take, but 2.5 day journey. I would like, for the first day, everybody to roll me a d12 and tell me what you get. Well, I mean, I'll look, but roll a d12 and let's see what you get. We got a 4, an 11, a 2, and a 10. Yep. Okay. All right. So you guys make it out, and you guys basically you set out from Bremen, and you make it to about here, just outside of town. You set up camp, set up your tent. You guys have done this before. Several of you have done this before. And you sort of settle in for the night. Do you guys set up watches? What do you do? And also, how does everybody feel about Fizzgig? Like new guy, little gray-skinned new party member. Is everybody okay with this, or what are we doing?
Let's go with Detect Thoughts on Fizzgig.
Oh, all right. Fizzgig, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Nope.
Nice.
So why don't you tell Ziada what you're thinking about as you are bedding down for the night right now?
Kind of like surface thoughts.
I miss the mushrooms of the Underdark.
Wait,
Surfacers
what
smell
are
funny.
you? Yo, hold on. What are you? What the fuck have we been walking with? You're from the Underdark? Shit.
Yes, he is. I figured this would be a good time to bring this up.
I missed the actual introduction to him, and now I'm like, wait a second. What are you? What are you, like a deep gnome?
Yes.
Okay.
A Snurf Nevlin?
I was gonna say I forgot the actual thing, but yeah, I forgot about my helm of telepathy, so now I'm just trying to use it all the time. So it's just like, all right, this guy seems cool.
Note to self: mushrooms for Fizzgig. Okay, got it.
Right.
All right. So everybody
Cheating
settles down. You know what? 3 people in the party. You guys can pick. Roll me perception checks.
Well, we're in a hut.
No, I'm just saying for watch. So just roll 3 of you roll perception checks that'll get you through the night, and we'll get moving them on. Nice.
No,
Okay.
4.
Wait, 24 or 23?
No, I was gonna say you got 4 rolls, right?
Oh yeah. No,
Three,
it's fine.
4.
So the night passes, and
One of them is
everything's.
perception.
One of them is a person. No, and everybody's good. Everybody's fine. So you break camp. You set up the next morning again. It never really gets that bright. So set off north again. Everybody roll me a d12.
He's in within 30 feet. Reroll that one.
Okay. The day, again, the daylight as it is passes, and you guys just trudge on towards the sea of moving ice, which you can see in the distance because shapes seem to be moving to and fro, as opposed to the landscape that you're traversing across, which is very stagnant, very still, very just white, stretching out. And you make it to the end of the day, and you seem to be fine. So you set up camp again. Everyone's going to go to sleep. Everybody roll me 3 people. Call it out. 1, 2, 3, and then roll perception.
Could I get a detect thoughts on villain?
Yeah.
Just see where she's feeling. How she's doing.
I will hold on. Yeah. She is sitting there, surrounded on her own sled by some undead kobold, and she's just like, "These guys smell bad, but I need them." That's all.
Okay.
Periodically she looks up and she's like, "It's so fucking bright. It is so bright." But that's all you get.
Focus on
all
the
right.
movement. Got it.
Yep. And so you guys go to bed for the night, and then perception checks. I see one from Novakri. I see one from Jennifer. I need one more. Call it before you roll it.
I got it.
Okay. 15. All right. So the night goes, and nothing happens. Nothing attacks you. You guys have all been intense at night and had to deal with giant Dwergar trying to stabify you to death and everything goes fine. I mean, it's not pleasant. It's uncomfortable. It's the super freezing cold. But as you wake up the next morning, Ziada, let your perception carry over. You see something off in the distance. Like, let's say you guys camped about here. See something that's maybe about like, I don't know, 1,000 feet or so over here. Doesn't look right. Looks like looks like the condensation and the sort of like normal vapors that happen in the morning in a snowy tundra. It's a little off over there. The colors aren't right. What do you want to do?
Let everyone know first of all, and we have an owl that we might be able to scout with.
That is true. You fucking son of a bitch. But yeah, that's true.
Can I do a survival check to see if I can tell what it is?
Well, I'm going to say with your perception, because I'm carrying them over, you don't notice it right away. Like he pointed out, and you're kind of like trying to squint away. So if you're going to send the owl over, I'll let the owl move first, and then I'll come back to you. So are you going to try to do that, Loki?
Let's do that.
All right. Do you just see what the owl sees, or do you have to roll a check to see what it sees? How does it work?
He is the Beast Master.
The Beast Master.
I can see through its eyes within 100 feet.
Well, this is a bit out of that range. So if you're going to do that, you'd have to move a bit closer.
Hold on. Until
But does it like? Can it send things back to you beyond 100 feet?
while you're within 100 feet, you can communicate with it telepathically. Additionally, as a bonus, as an action, you can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn, gaining benefits of special senses that your familiar has. During this time, you are deaf, blind in regard to your own senses.
So, like, whether this is just like rule of thumb or whatever, I'm going to say that the owl goes over beyond your normal 100-foot range, and when it gets over towards where Ziada was pointing, it sees the remnants of what looks like a campfire. Not like a campfire for like multiple people or whatever. Like everyone's huddling warmly around, but it looks like a small fire had been started and either put out or whatever, and that may have been the wisps of smoke that Ziada saw as you guys woke up in the morning. Now, you guys are probably about 3 or 4 hours. Like, it's the beginning of day. So you're going to get there by midday to get to Angjak's Bell. And Villain has told you that it's called Angjak's Bell because there's quite literally a bell to ring to get Angjak to come and, give you a ride. So these are things to take into consideration. However, the other thing to take into consideration is it's 11:10, and I want to get you to the map, but I have to deal with another scenario that's going on, and that's namely I have to use the bathroom. So I will be right back, and consider what you want to do. We'll do that.
Hero
do we
always does
check
it to
out
him.
the campfire? So do we check out the campfire, see what's going on over there?
Yeah, I'd say so. You sneak up.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if there's no
Somebody else might
evidence
be
of them
riding a
there,
whale.
there has to be evidence of them having been there and leaving.
Right, but somebody else could be riding a whale. This is where we see.
Was it? I think that's where the whale, like, that's what we had gotten from it, like, it was supposed to show up, is the stories that we heard. I don't know if that's, excuse me, where the bell is as well. But, if that's the case, then, oh, okay. Then we go there.
Like 2 days now. I'm supposed to take us 2.5 days.
Yeah, so we should be coming up shortly.
So this campfire is somewhere between us. We need to.
I mean, if it was between us, I didn't catch whether it was. I didn't know if it was like we're here, it was over that way, sort of thing, or if it was like we're here, it's up here, and then we can just continue on our way.
So we need clarification on that. If it's out of the way, I see that there's that stuff. The literal.
All right, I'm back. What do you guys want to do?
Think we're gonna be checking out that campfire, or the
All right.
remnants of.
All right, so you guys go over.
Can you point on the map, Tom, and show us where the campfire is exactly?
Yes,
What I'm
please.
going to do is I'll just draw a giant square. No, I'm kidding. So you guys are right about here. Wait, did that show up? See that?
Yep.
Okay. And so maybe about a couple hundred feet away over here, so very close to where you guys are, is where you found this.
Okay.
If you got anybody who's going to go over and kind of try to make sense of what you see, roll me a survival or an investigation check, whichever works better for you.
Are we all going?
Think so.
Might as well.
You said perception or survival?
Investigation or survival.
Investigation or survival.
I'm a 19, and I'm fucking low man right now.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. That's why I was just going to see if Loki or Bizkig are going to roll.
Fizzgig is definitely making impression tonight.
Bizkig is crushing everything tonight.
I mean,
Loki, you gonna make a roll too, or no?
this new guy from the Underdark just comes, and I guess he's part of our group, but he sucks at everything he's trying to do. So, I mean, I guess the light's just shining in his eyes off the sun. And he's just not used to it. And shit.
All right. So Loki and
I could
Fizzgig.
change it, but I haven't.
That's fine. Loki and Fizzy get over there, and you both see what looks like a fire. You know, like you can see the remnants of like some burn marks on the ice and around it and whatnot. And it doesn't look like much. Ziada and Dolan, you know, because that's your character's name. Sorry, Ziada and Harvest. You guys see that there are tracks all around, but it looks like they're not. I can't say that. With the 21, Ziada, you see it. Maybe you see it partially, and then Dolan, you see a little more. They look like human tracks. They look like humanoid tracks, right? They, like the feet don't have like splayed toes or anything. They look like they're shod, but they seem to be going in a number of directions. Some towards where you're headed, some towards to the west, some towards to the east. But everywhere that you see, they kind of like dissipate, like they move forward for a ways and then they dissipate. But Novakri with a 24 and also a nat 20.
I know the names of each of the foot.
There's Steve, there's Tom, there's Jeff. No, what you see is Shredder. There's Donatello Esky. You know, he's not Donatello. I'm not stealing anything. What you see is that it looks like when they stop making footprints, that something must have happened. Like everybody that was making footprints wasn't suddenly not making footprints, but rather there may have been some magics involved. Like you can't tell because you can't see, but with the 24 and with your sort of innate knowledge of the arcane, maybe it's like a trackless stride. Maybe it's I forget what the spell is that like hides you and your friends.
Pass without trace.
Pass without trace. Thank you. Maybe something to that effect occurred, and that's why it suddenly appears that there's no tracks anywhere. But you can clearly see, as can the others that made this check, that they seem to walk out, but they walk out in very different directions, and there's no. It's almost like there's no rhyme or reason to it. But that's what you guys get.
Clearly been eaten out of the sky.
Oh my god, yes. Some sort of sky creature has eaten them. 100%.
Do we have any
Hippogriff.
thoughts? Right. All right, I guess we're going with them.
Should have gone with the hippogriffs. Damn it.
We could have been eaten by the hippogriffs instead. Why not me? Do we have any thoughts on who they are? Like what these creatures were from like you guys investigating? Like how big they were? Any sort of like tells on like what they might be, like what sort of creatures or race or something?
Because they're only tracks. There's nothing else around. And because you know that there was a fire, you can make some general assumptions. The first is that they're humanoids of some sort that needed warmth, which means you guys all fought, at least, I think, once, a cold light walker, which was a humanoid, but it was bereft of any need of heat, right? There's like that clearly can't be what this was. But you have also come across, like the bear tribe. You know that there are other ragged tribes out there. The tiger, the wolf, the elk. Maybe this is like a scouting party or something along those lines. And then you also know that there are, servants of Oral, like the frost druids that you've come across. The frost druid that you met with, like the mad moose, not moose. Yeah, the mad moose, the one that claimed several people's lives. Like there are very powerful humans there, but if that was what this was, why would they need a fire? Because there was never, like when you met the Frostmaiden's disciples, aka frost druids, they didn't need of a fire. Like there was no need for warmth. Their love was the cold because that was what they worshipped. So maybe not them. So maybe it was like barbarian tribesmen, or maybe it was other men of the north or something like that.
Right,
or women.
I'm gonna throw it out to everyone. I don't think it was barbarians because they're not really into magic, and I feel like the way that these things disappeared was magical, unless they did like the fucking, what was it, red rum little kid thing where he walked backwards shining.
That's a great reference. But Kevin, roll me a wisdom check if you have wisdom or survival. Either a wisdom check or a survival check.
That's nat 20. 22.
So what was funny was you're like, it's nat 20, and on my screen it said survival +2 and was blank for the longest time, and I'm like, are you telling me this? Or like, so
I think it was because it was a nat 20. I got a little nice thing on the dice. It like gave like a frost like aura thing. It's like, oh, cool. And it's just like, fucking watch this, and then we'll get it over there. Who gives a shit?
Without revealing several things from your backstory, what you know is that those that walk on the ice to survive, aka the ragged tribes, know that you have to disguise your footprints sometimes. And what may appear to be magical to some may just be very, very skilled presentation to others. So one of you is right and one of you is wrong, but both of you know that these people are very skilled at disappearing, is what you know, and that they appear to be humanoid people of some kind.
All right. Interesting. All right, so I guess we're off to the bell.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you set off again. Hiya! And let's bring you guys to a map. Now I haven't updated this map, so we're gonna see what happens with this. But no, not that. We got it down here.
37.
Or I don't know where this map is now. Come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sweet. It's all dark.
I have a black box.
What happened?
All I see is a black box.
Yeah, it's cool because that's what you in. You're gonna die. No, it's not. That's not what's
I'm
happening.
not surprised.
So
Great.
hold on.
Axel
So
Rose took over the DM.
I think what I need to do is I need to put you guys somewhere. So I got to find you guys first. I apologize. I thought I had done this earlier today, but apparently I didn't. So let's go down and find everybody. Also, Fizzgig, do we have something for you?
Yeah.
People should start to be able to see stuff and things as I bring them in here. Fizzgig, I think we had you in East Haven, right? Let me see if I can find the map for East Haven.
No, you had me on that trial map that we did to kind of try out the character.
I know I did, but I don't think I had that in here. Maybe. Hold on. Let's find out. Yeah, I deleted all of it, so I don't have that. Do you you know what? For tonight, I'm just going to create a character and put you in there, and we can figure this out again. So I just want to keep this moving so that we can get to a point for tonight. So boom. Let's go to this. You are what? A deep gnome. I'm not going to try to spell Snurf Evelyn because you know what? No, thank you.
After S and N, it's like E I R just A L. Fuck. Why can't Dritz make better friends?
Well, so if no one's read it before, like Dritz makes a great friend of a Snurf Evelyn that has no hands and has tools in place of them, but I won't say anything more than that because it's pretty great. Controlled by Fizzgig. Okay, save settings. All right, Chris, you should have control of this character right here. Do you have that?
Yep.
Nice. All right. So let me go to some flavor text. As you guys approach, there is a small domed cabin that faces the bay. A bloated door covered in ice and dormant barnacles hangs slightly ajar on rusted hinges. Nope, that's not it. I apologize, guys. I thought that was the text for this, but all right. So this is what you guys see. I'm gonna move everybody to give you guys a better viewpoint, so that you have a better concept of this. Let's do this, and this is kind of a wonky map, so I got to do this, and this, and this, and this. Okay. So what you see is in A1, which is down here, you see a frozen pier. A2 is over here, which I mistakenly started to describe, is over here that you can't see because there is like a large stone icy wall that right here is in your way. A3, right here, there is a bell, like a large bronze bell that's turned green with exposure to salt air, but is still in good condition. And then right here is a hole in the ice. And then these are basically like large stones that are cropping up out of the ice. I will do this. Let me see if I can reveal. Did that do anything? Oh.
No.
Right layer?
I think I'm on the right layer. For some reason, I just revealed it, and I think it's still in darkness. Yeah, I can't get this out of darkness. Anyway, so long story short, this. Hold on, let me go back and do this. This and this are the two sides of a large arch that come up like a stone arch. So where you see like the blank open square right there, and then the small part right there, there's an archway that comes over this opening, and then there's this bell on this pier that's right there. So what do you guys want to do?
Gonna move forward, see if anything's going on.
As you move forward, you notice that over here, I just want to make sure I have this right. You can't see it, but over here, just out of your line of sight, there appears to be like a boat or something that is frozen solid in the ice over here. That's what you see.
Okay.
You see the bell that is right here. You see the opening, like it appears to be maybe, I don't know, unusual that this like perfect circle is open right here. And then over here is the shoreline. You guys have been traveling north, so like north is basically south on this, but like you've been traveling north, and so you see up here and you see all of that, and that's what you kind of see there. Anybody else want to do something?
And I'll point out the bell with my sword as I'm up there, just to kind of like let them know that it's over that way.
I'll start heading to the bell.
Watch Bellin. What is she doing?
Velen is following. She's kind of trying to keep to the back just because she's a spellcaster. That's like she's not going to be a frontline fighter, but she's moving up with you guys. And I will say this again, that your check revealed that yes, she may have ulterior motives, but as far as supporting you guys and being part of your mission, and like the mission of like getting 10 towns back to normal, she was 100% on board with that. So all right, so you guys started moving up. I see Ziada up here, clearly with some sort of ring of death around her. I see Novakri, I see Loki. Velen steps up here. What's everybody else doing?
I do have to say, one of the things that I think is an underrated part of Chris's characters dying is we're always treated to a new name. And that's always fun. He does a good job with those. Not really so much with building characters that survive, but like...
Wow. Thanks.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know why the last part, but, you know. Moving on. Yeah, it started off as a compliment, ended as definitely not. So I'll take the front and kind of keep an eye out, see if anything's moving or anything's going on.
What you notice when you get up there in Loki too, as you get up to that point, is you notice that the water is open, like unfrozen. For whatever reason, this sort of circle is like the opening of like a swimming pool, right? Like it doesn't freeze because it's been set up to not. That's what you guys see when you get up there. Harvest, I see you coming closer to the bell. I see Fizzgig getting closer to the bell. Novakri, I see you just sort of like standing out in the background, and Villain, I will move Villain up as well. Like she's like,
I assume the whale comes through here. I circle my sword around this in a gesture to Loki.
Loki's like, stop swinging your sword, man. I get it. Stop it. I get it.
That's why he's staying so far back.
Check for traps.
It's like, fuck.
Give me an investigation check
go
if you're
with
checking
that.
for traps.
Am I the best one to check for traps?
Well, you're the only one who said they were going to check for traps, and you're right there. So, with a 9, it looks perfectly great.
Anybody else want to check for traps?
Would you
Say
say
out
that,
loud.
or would you just assume you're fine? I would assume that you're just fine.
Well, I, knowing me, would never assume that.
Mm.
Do I say that out loud?
Is anyone going to assist, or just going to take her word for it?
Loki threw out a 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Loki feels the same way. It's totally fine.
Hey, the two people that are supposed to find the traps, I trust them.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
they could be right.
I'm looking this way. So, I'm more concerned down south. I'm not really worried about that. I assume that's just kind of... It is how we kind of heard it would be, so... I just assume everything's in place. Whether or not we find out that it is or not.
So, what are you guys doing?
Bell ringer, ring that bell. You missed.
Are there instructions? And I'm not talking about how to ring a bell, but is there like a special pattern we're supposed to use, or randomly ring the bell?
So I imagine like Fizzgig is like, and Villain's like, no, just ring the bell. That's what we're gonna do. Is just ring the bell, and he summons Anjak.
How make clang?
I'll make the clang.
How make clang?
I'll make clang. I will make it.
When Fizzgig rule world.
When Fizzgig crushed the world.
All see.
So, so what do you guys do?
I'll go ring the bell if nobody else wants to.
Seattle moves up there. This gig. Ring that bell, brother. What happens?
All right. I ring the bell.
All right. And so it's very like, I imagine the sound that comes out of this bell is very reminiscent of, if you've ever seen like the videos of like, the tsunami or like the tidal wave bells that like old Japan or China had along the coastline, where there's like a big bell with like basically like a 4x4 or a 6x6 on a rope that you pull back and you're like bong, bong. And as you hit this, it just resonates and like reverberates over the area around you, and it just sweeps out. And as it starts to do that, the pool itself right here starts to vibrate. But then I want everybody to make me a perception check.
I'm sorry, I've got this. The whale is a dong.
So I
No,
see
dang
I see a
nabbit.
9, I see a 10, I see a 9, I see 26, and a 7. Everybody except for Novakri hears this like ringing. It's like just super loud, super reverberative, just like blah, blah.
No, dang nabbit. The
No,
whale is a...
Novakri, you like put your fingers in your ear, maybe you threw some ears in, whatever you're going to do, and you look up and you see these 3 large avian forms going like starting to show up.
Harpies.
No. Try again.
Chlamydia.
It's chlamydia. It's sky chlamydia. You got it. Close enough. These 3 giant vultures coming in. And as they start to come in, Loki, I didn't notice that you rolled a 20, but what you notice is coming out of the snow, almost as if they're just like, like fucking Naruto out of like the sand or something, like shifting. These other forms start to show up, and they all appear human in shape. And one of them is standing right next to Harvest. And we'll pick up here next week, bros and sisses, and let's see what happens. Good job. Welcome back to the Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Thanks, Tom. Much appreciated, sir.
No problem. Listen, as long as people are having fun, I'm having fun with this, and I'm just super happy to be back and doing this again. So good job getting here. Good job getting health potions. I just want to kill you all before you can use them. That's all.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Dead.
Later, guys.
All right, later.
Later.